Okay. Cool. So this is going to be the order of the final presentations. It's just going to be by group number. So starting with stock exchange, finishing with Stalker Eyes. So two different stock ones. So you should know your group number from like those breakout rooms, and that's going to be the order you go in. Some reminders before we kind of start is one, I'm going to expect your cameras on while presenting. So the four of you, while your group is going, have them on just so we can make it feel like it is a live presentation. Otherwise, honestly, I think after this semester, I'll only recognize the faces of like, I don't know, a fourth of you guys. So it's also a good chance for me to get to see you. And then remember, there's no slides or anything. It's just a live demo of your app, preferably your Heroku app. But if you can't, of course, then do Cloud9 as the backup. And you're going to have 2 minutes to present. I will be timing you. I won't cut you off at exactly 2 minutes or anything, but if you do go too far, then I will have to cut you off. And then we'll have like 2 to 3 minutes after your demo for questions, Q&A. So this could be from other students. This could be from me. This could be from your industry mentors if they show up. This is an earlier time than 9 a.m. It's also 6 a.m. in Pacific time. So I feel like there may be like at most 1 or 2 during this class, but hey, that's less pressure too. So yeah, that's key things to remember. Hopefully you did check out the specs to see the rubric as well as like any guidance I gave there. All right, so we'll start at 9. Yes, if you do use Cloud9, you can explain why after. You don't have to take up time during your actual demo to do it. So yeah. Okay, so we can start at like 9:12. I'll give you guys 3 minutes if you want to do any last minute coordination with your group members. I'm not going to open up breakout rooms, but you can do it on your own chats. Also, if you have other questions about the presentation, you can ask me now. Okay, all right. Why don't we start with group one then? So stock exchange, this is Chris, Christian, Anoop, and Fernando. Let me stop sharing. You guys can take the reins and go ahead. Whoever wants to present can share their screen. Let me know if you have issues with that. Hey, guys.
Hi, so I'm gonna be sharing my screen,
Okay,
but I'm not gonna be presenting. It's just
yeah, that works.
all right. So hold on. Share screen. All right, can you see it?
Yes, we can see it.
All right.
Okay, let me know when you're ready and I can start timing.
Uh,
Yeah, you can go
Christian.
ahead. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So that was our landing page.
Yeah, that was the link. Sorry, it automatically logged me in.
Oh yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah. So we wanted to make an app that investors could use to talk with each other and kind of like recommend stocks. Because for most stock applications, it's just you invest, you buy in, you buy out. It's not really like a, hey, let's come on this, let's like these stocks. So over here we have our page, and we just loaded up a bunch of stocks from different sectors, so finance, mega, tech, utilities, etc., etc. Excuse me. So you can like these stocks and they'll appear on your list. We also made a profile page, but that is in the works. So I'll hand it over to Anoop so he can talk about each individual stock page and then searching for stocks.
Okay. So when you click on the stocks, we have the like button, and we have news, comments, and overview, and everything. So when you click on the news comments, can you click on? No. Yeah. You get all the information about the stocks from the API, which was New York Times API. And when you click on comments, then you could put like the comments for the stock, don't buy this or this, like whatever you want to do, or buy or sell in this price. And the overview is the information of all the stocks that we have. And you could also search stocks on all the way on the top, where you right there, and search it up, and you get the same information, and you do the news, comments, or overview, and everything. And you could also add it when you press the like button. You'll add it to your portfolio.
All right, so is that the time? I can't see myself. So is that the time?
Professor, you're muted.
Yeah, Professor, you're muted.
Sorry about that. Okay. Thank you guys for presenting. That looked cool. I like seeing the kind of complexity of the app because there's a lot of different things you can do, the commenting, the liking, the searching. Why don't we start with anybody here among the students have questions for these guys? All right, Ian said, do you plan on making the price update in real time?
They do. So the way we have it, am I muted? I don't know. Yeah, so the way we have it set up is linked to an API that will update every 15 minutes between opening and closing hours during Monday through Friday. And after those hours, it'll show old data that's in the database. But yeah, it's supposed to update every 15 minutes. The only reason why we have it at 15 minutes because the API has a limit on it right now because we're using a free plan. But yeah, that's how we have it updating.
Cool. And how do you make sure that it updates every 15 minutes?
So in our server, we have it set up so that it recognizes what Monday through Friday is, and then we have it also set to a time, and then it'll check every 15 minutes to see if it has been updated. If it hasn't, it will. If it hasn't, and if it has, it will just cycle through within a database.
All right, nice. Andre asked, how do you keep track of the comments?
Christian.
I can answer that.
Oh yeah,
So-
Fernando, my bad.
Yeah, so we have a React state set up in the comments page or in the stock page. And what we do is every time the user enters a comment, we update that state, and we also update the database. So if like the user refreshes the page, we'll go back to the database, get all the comments information, and load that into the state. And then when the user posts their comment, that goes to the database and directly into the state to update it. So it's just pretty much a React state that keeps track of that. And whenever they refresh, it's the database.
Cool. Yeah, makes sense. And one question from me, so either of you can answer. What do you think was the biggest like technical challenge you had to deal with?
Well, I would say it's probably the integrating like the front end and back ends. So we have like a lot of back end stuff that we had to do, and then connect to the front end to be able to send data back and forth. So getting all that hooked up and working on Heroku, I would say that was probably the biggest challenge we faced. But Chris, can you think of anything else?
Yeah, that was really it. Working separately with the front end and the back end, that wasn't really an issue. It was correctly sending information from the back end to the front end. That was and the database. That was really the only issues that we were having. That was the hardest part.
Got it. Okay. All right. Thanks, guys. This looked good. Thanks for presenting. We can keep moving now. Okay. Let's move to number 2, which is job find. So this would be Meena, Akshat, Hussein, Giovanni. And whoever wants to share their screen and set that up over it.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna share my screen. So, we are having issues with the Heroku. I don't know why, so I'm gonna use a Cloud9. Is it fine?
That's okay.
Okay. So let me just load it up. So first of all, you're gonna talk about a few things, then I will show you guys the demo.
Okay.
Okay, let us know. We can start now, right?
Okay, go ahead and start now.
Okay. So first, good morning, everyone. Me, Akshit, Hussein, and Meena decided to create a job searching app that uses Jubal API. We decided to do this because we're actually all graduating seniors, and we wanted to use an app that we could actually possibly use after we graduate, and something that could also help our fellow seniors. Because the Jubal API isn't as interactive as the Spotify API, we had to do a few things in our database that we wouldn't normally have had to have done. Akshit, if you can show the models database really quick.
Yep.
So in Spotify, so our job postings also have a personal ID, but it's not really, we can't use it for anything. We can't reverse search. So say we get that job posting ID, we can't go to Jubal and say, here's the job posting ID, please give us that information. We have to store everything all at once. It's just literally taking in parameters and searching for the job. So you can see that we had to make a database for the person. And then if you look at the jobs database, in the person database, because we plan on favoriting these job postings and showing that we applied to the job postings so that we can come back to them later. So we actually had to create an array inside of our database to keep track of the IDs to eventually go back to the jobs database model. So Akshit, if you can show the app and you can take over.
Yeah. So right now, since I have already logged in, it's logging me in. But if you tried to log in, that's how the login is gonna work. And you can just log in with your Google API thing. And once you log in, we have a homepage. And let's say you search for doctor's job and say Jersey City. And then in the 50-mile radius, and then let's say salary is 50,000. And if you submit, it's gonna right now. So we are still working on it, but right now we're just using that as just a basic version. So we have that thing, and we have detail of each job. And if you click on that, and it will gonna add to the favorites. So right now we are not done with it. So in future we gonna, if you user click on add favorites, it's gonna be in their favorite lists, and then we gonna have another function that's called applied, and after user applied, it's gonna be in that list. So
Okay,
that's
go
how
ahead
we
and wrap
apply.
it up. Just like 20 more seconds.
Yeah, that was from my end.
We would like to open the session for any upcoming question, guys. If you have any questions, we would like to be happily would answer them.
Okay, cool. Thanks, guys. From the class, anybody have questions they want to start off with? While they're thinking, I'll ask the first question. So I was noticing, like, when you search doctor, you show up one listing there. Was that on purpose, or was that just because there is only one listing for the API?
No, it was on purpose. So basically we're gonna have, let's say, sometimes more than 50 or 60 job searches. So what we are planning, we're gonna just have that like kind of page thing worked out. So on one page, it's gonna only show 5, 6 jobs maybe, and then later on, we're gonna adjust to that. Like, so for we're gonna create the page. So on the first page, 5 jobs, and then 10, another 5, and stuff like that.
Got it.
And
It
also
was
to add
intentional.
to add on what Akshit says, that easily can be done in the parameters. So you guys remember when we had the Spotify API and the Genius API, we had to set up some parameters in order to get the data back from the API call. So we have it set it up only to 1, so it can easily be set it up to 4 or 5. Yeah.
Cool. Andre asked, which API did you use to find the jobs?
We use the Joomla API.
And is this a free one?
Yeah.
Yeah, free one.
Okay. Okay, cool. And what, I guess I want to ask the same question I'm going to ask to all the groups, but what for you guys was the biggest technical challenge here?
I mean, it was basically in my side, and I think in my group too, it was connecting the back end to the front end. So we had a little bit difficulty on that.
Yeah, because first of all, we are using socket.io, and then we found out that it's kind of for the real communication. And since we are not doing that, then we have to implement the REST APIs, and then we have to send back data using that. So it was kind of that. And after all, we found out, we thought initially that we can search by job ID from the Drupal API, but then after we tried, as Gio mentioned, we cannot search reversely. Then we have to change our database accordingly to make certain tables and connect those tables. So it was a big challenge for us.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions from the class? Okay, thank you guys. I think this will be pretty useful. Maybe you'll use it yourself after this year.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move to team rate then. So Andre, Rainfist, Akul, and who am I missing?
Me.
Abram. Yeah, Abram. There you go. All right.
Yeah, so we are Team Raid. We tried to, Andre,
Okay. Yeah, so we have like a media app that helps you find movies and shows. So like the idea about the app came about was like when you're trying to find a movie and you go on Netflix and then maybe you'll go on like Hulu or Disney or something. We wanted like a centralized location where you can just see what all those major streaming services are providing, and also like a place where you can like interact with the community and like post comments and make like a favorites list or like a watch list and stuff like that. So on our login page, we just give like a brief view of our features. Like we can search through the streaming service, and we have like a little catalog of trending movies or top rated movies and shows, or you can watch trailers. And also we can post comments and stuff like that and share your opinion with other people. So that's the login page, and you just
Yeah.
sign in with Google.
yeah, so going in, just simple Google login, just log into my account. And then right as it should work immediately, you see your profile picture, your name up top, you can log out, and this is it. So it renders the most popular topics that one would like to watch. And if you don't see anything here, and it's all scrollable like this, and if you don't see anything here that you like, you can always search up top over here, say the Avengers. Sorry, my computer's slow. So let's see, you want to watch Infinity War? You click on the page, it shows you the movie page with the trailer, then it auto plays. Yeah. And then you can add it to your favorites, and then it would add it to your favorites list. Unfavorite, it would remove it from your favorites list. Yeah, that's about it. So far, we're trying to implement also the comments and the to view the watch list. But we're still working on that right now.
Cool. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
This looks really good. I'm impressed by the UI here. It just reminds me like I logged on to Netflix. So
Yeah, that was the goal. Yeah.
that's my first question then. So how were you able to kind of create this UI layout and map it to Netflix's style?
Renfish, I think you are muted.
Oh. We still can't hear you.
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, I hear you now.
Sorry, I was saying I believe Andre did most of the UI, if you want to talk about how you did it.
Oh, okay.
Well, with the Netflix stuff,
Sorry, yeah.
yeah, that was, yeah. So, so I know like I made it so that each component, it would render each component. So this each like line or row is a separate call to a row component, and each component calls for, I guess, the individual movie would, and it calls for each individual movie genre, and it lists them like this. And to make it look like, so you notice how some of them, like the top few, I noticed that in Netflix, the top, like some of the top rows are like the posters are longer than the bottom ones. That's something I noticed. So to do that, I made it so that in the app.js or wherever I'm calling the row component, I would have like a catch where it would immediately just, I guess it would call the API and ask for a different poster size, and it would post it like this. And for the banner, again, this banner is refreshable. So every time I refresh the page, it changes to a different recommended banner.
And the whole site is one page, so it's just hiding or showing different React components depending on the state of the page.
Sure.
Also, Catherine has asked a question. We use the movie database API or TMDB. So
Yep, and we have a REST API endpoint set up on the back end to access, sorry, not to access that API, but for the user information for what stuff they have favorited, to keep track of that. We have a REST API endpoint on the back end that allows the JavaScript to interface with that and communicate what's favorited, what's not favorited, and also ask that from the server.
Awesome. And one last question I have here. How, if I see a movie, how would I know whether it's like Netflix or a different streaming service?
Right now, we don't have that, but we're planning to implement that.
Okay. I think that'll be big just to know like where to be able to find it. And one last question then from Xavier. What differentiates this app from the Netflix clones?
it has all the movies, not only just the Netflix movies or TV shows. It also, if you scroll down, I think there is a Godzilla and it's on HBO Max. So it has all the movies and TV shows on different platforms. So that's the biggest plus point for our app.
Also, the goal of this isn't to watch the movies on the site. It's for discovery.
And we also want to have a comment section that's unique to the site. So it's sort of like a community center as well.
Cool. Great, guys. Thanks for sharing this. I like it a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Let's move to credit savers then. Hey, I'm on me here.
Hi, can you hear my voice?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, so I'm going to share my screen and Roger will start us off.
Yeah. Okay, let me know when you're ready to start.
All right.
We're ready.
Okay, go ahead.
Yep. Good morning, everyone. So we built.
Give me a sec.
So we built an expense tracking app that tracks your income and expenses. This is our landing page. On here, we have a login option and a description of an app. So like manage your expenses. If you scroll more, keep track of your spendings. Yeah. Have visual understanding with charts. Yeah, let's try logging in. Yeah. So this is after logging in, you see this dashboard. You have your name up top, your income, expenses, and other options. Like you can, let's try adding one expense. Yeah, amount, you can put date. Yeah. Location, Amazon, category, online purchase. Keyboard. Yeah, we have an option to like add another income or expense. Should be in show all because it's more than
that's right.
Oh, is that?
Yeah.
2020, yep. So like you can just click on it and see the description details. And if like say if I return the item, you can delete the item from the page.
Okay, that's been 2 minutes. Go ahead and wrap it up then.
Mir will check it.
All right, so just quickly, we also have like sorting by week, month, and year. And then you can also break it down by expense and income. And also we have a chart. So we have made it work yet, but yeah. Let's log out.
Okay. Thank you guys. This looks really polished when I look at this, so I like the design here. And I definitely see the use in terms of the expense tracking. Any questions you guys have from the class? Otherwise, I'll start off with how were you able to get this design to kind of look so polished?
We actually started it designing it on Figma, so it was really helpful designing it somewhere else. And the actual designing parts after that was not that difficult. We almost used plain CSS, and for the forms we used Bootstrap. So we had combination of both.
Cool. And then what would you consider the biggest technical challenge then?
I think the biggest technical challenge was understanding REST API and like getting it to work, because we had some issues with like the fetch and stuff. And another issue was connecting designing the whole database. So yeah, we had like different relationships, like foreign keys and stuff. So because it's like different transactions, and we had two different tables, user table and user ID, and we had to figure out how we could connect that to the transactions table.
Okay. Hussein asked, what's it called again?
It's called Tracking App.
The tracking app?
The expense tracking app, I guess.
Come on, guys, you can make it more flashy.
Credit statement.
Oh, for the CSS, Hussein, I think they said Bootstrap.
Bootstrap.
Yeah, we used actually both CSS and plain CSS and Bootstrap, and we used Figma to design the page.
Awesome. Okay, thank you guys. This is really good. Okay, Event Guru, you guys are up.
Can everybody hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Hi, guys.
Perfect. How's it going, everybody? We can just have Pranavi pull up the screen.
Can you guys see the screen? I'm not too sure if you can see it.
Yep, we can see it.
Okay, perfect. Oh, okay, so let me log out. This is our, oh, Xavier could start.
Yeah, so our app is called Event Guru. We basically had an issue where we wanted to find, when we hang out with our friends, a local place that we can all get together and hang out, and we wanted a better way to do it. So looking at the home screen, all you have to do to sign in is log in with your Google account that you should already have. So she's demoing the login. As soon as you log in, if you give it a second, you're gonna see that the pages loads, the events load. It just takes a little second. So then you'll see that the initial data that you find on the homepage is actually based on your location. So the first one you'll see is New Jersey Devils, because we're in New Jersey. And if you scroll all the way down on the homepage, you'll see the map, which has a little overview of your nearby events. So if you were to just click on one of those little blue pins, you can actually find the name of the event and the place that it's actually being held. So if you would just go, if you go to the top, Pranavi, and click on one of the events. Yeah. So let's say I wanted to go and visit the Ramstein North America Stadium tour. I get to see how many likes and dislikes my peers have had on this event to see if, you know, there's a lot of likes, maybe a lot of people are going. And if I wanted to leave my comment, so you can just scroll down a little bit, I can have my comment be posted attached to my Google information, so my Google picture and my Google username. And then right there in the bottom, you'll see a map which displays the location of the event that we're going to be going to. And if she clicks on that little icon too, the little pin, you can see the location, like, ready to go, ready to copy paste.
Okay, so once you want to enter a new search, you just click home and you take them back to the home page events. And I'm going to enter a new keyword search pop. And if you want, you could also enter some filter events. Let's say I want to look up events related to pop music in Texas. So I type in TX, I click search, and all of these events are pop events in Texas. And I could click on, open one of them up, see the likes and comments that are left on this event page and see the location again. Go back to home. And so this is our event filtering and keyword search feature. And then the last feature that we could present is the bookmarks feature. So I already had bookmarked a few events and they're gonna come up right here. If I click on them, I'll see the details again. You can see that this event has 3 likes already. Go back home and I go to see my all my bookmarked events. And if I want to run a new search, I just enter a new search here, pop, and all those events come back up.
Great. All right, that's time. Thank you guys. This looks cool. And also very well presented. First question I'd want to ask you, and in the class, think of anything you'd want to ask too. How do you guys think you can differentiate this app from, let's say, Ticketmaster or another event site?
One way I think we could differentiate is the very easy sign-in, because a lot of those event discovery sites, you have to create an account on their system, whereas with us, we just use Google login. And then the other aspect that I feel makes it much more different is our ability to immediately show you events in your area, not just a generic list. Because we use the geolocator API to get your zip code and display everything in your area.
I would also like to add that we have the like and the likes, the dislikes in the comments section. So I don't think they have those in any other event searches like Ticketmaster or event Bright Event.
Okay, cool. And the other thing I wanted to ask, oh yeah, how is dealing with the mapping sort of stuff, geolocation, and also showing it on the map?
Well, it wasn't too bad. I was able to pull it from the server end and just create a state and pass that into my component. So it wasn't really too hard.
Cool. Okay. Any questions from the class? Can you make the bird the mascot?
I don't know if he would like that. He's very, he hates strangers.
Cool. And one thing, just a thought here, I think something that can help in terms of differentiating is also like finding a specific community to kind of rally the app around. So rather than just like all events, maybe either just the NJIT community or just the music community, and doing that kind of also helps you tailor to a certain kind of user base. One more question, looks like Jessica asked, you guys can answer. She asked, what new features would you add if you had time?
So I think we also wanted to add like a threaded comment. So inside the comment, if someone commented, we wanted to add a reply button where you could reply to that comment, have like a thread going. So I think that's something new that we wanted to implement if we had more time. Anything else? Not sure. Kevin, anything else, do you think?
I guess for new features, it would be much better styling, such as for the bookmark button itself. I was thinking maybe we could use something similar to on your browser. You have the bookmark button, you press it, it highlights blue. Press it again, it's unbookmarked, it's back to being clear. Something like that. And that's it, really.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Event Guru. Okay, let's keep moving then. Friend Connect. Why don't you go ahead?
Hey, just give me 1 second. Pull
Sure.
this up. Okay. Sure.
Krupesh, we're on group 6.
Can you? Oh, let me share my video too. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Cool. All right, so good morning, everyone. So have you ever wanted to chat with your friends but not bother them when you knew they weren't available? So that is what Hangout is. This is the landing page here. You see we have a login and register buttons. We'll get to that in a second. Basically, I just want to Hangout as a way for you to know when your friends are able to do something, and you'll be able to create chats with them. And I'm going to demo that a little bit here. So let's register real quick. You'll see we're not using Google login. Luca actually has a, I'm sorry, gotta put an email. Luca has a custom authentication thing that uses cookies, and I'm gonna show how that works. So demo last. Okay, so we're registered. Let's log in now. Demo 1, pass. All right, so here's our dashboard. You see it's pretty empty. We have a few things I'm gonna go over. I'm going to add some friends. I know there's some usernames called test. So we'll add test. There's test and test2. So right now you'll see that they're highlighted as green. This means that they're available. Hopefully we can have test2 change that to unavailable. And there it is. So now you see that whenever this updates, whenever I refresh, you see that the status of and the color indicates that they're busy or available or offline. You can change your own status by hitting this little marker here. So let's make ourselves available and refresh, and you can see that that actually, and look, test2 is available again. But now my status is also available. So when people are available, the idea is that you'll be able to take your friends and say, okay, let's pull test and test2, and let's create a chat room. So here's our chat rooms over here. Let's click this, and we open up a blank chat room. I'm going to send the first message, hey, test and test2. Let's hang out. And we'll send that, and you'll see that because I sent it, it's going to be on the right side. I'm going to refresh again here so that we can see test2's message, but just to keep in mind that this is all going to be sockets in the end. We just haven't implemented it. There's test2. So that is basically the short demo of our app. Yeah, I mentioned that all this is going to be socketed up. The back end is already implemented. We just need to put it in the front end. But just for the demo purposes, I'm just refreshing here. But yeah, that's basically the quick demo.
Thanks, Michael.
Yeah.
All right. The idea is pretty unique. I do like this. I don't think I've really seen anything that common here. Any questions from the class? In the meantime, I'll ask, what do you think is like a change you need to make this like kind of marketable or like feasible to really like become a big thing in the product?
Yeah, I can go for that. So there was a similar product to this, maybe like 5 years ago. Google made something called Google Who's Down, but I think they shut it down. So I think if like you were to like compete with, I guess like just calling your friends or just like using Snapchat or something, you would have to make I guess you would have to make the UI very, very like simple and more like, I guess, dumb it down, kind of exactly like how Snapchat does it. I guess with features, actually don't, Luca, do you have any?
I think,
ideas
can
for you
guys hear
features?
me now?
Yes.
Final? Okay, sorry. Yeah, I think feature-wise, I don't think there's anything really lacking. I think a mobile app, I mean, it is responsive, but a pure mobile native app would get user adoption to make it actually available. And then maybe something to make it more widespread and add features is that on the mobile app, you could do like geolocation and proximity. So if
Yeah.
two users are in proximity to each other and they're available, notifications or something like that.
Totally. Yeah, I could see that. And Jessica asked, what made you decide to implement your own login system instead of using an API?
There's really no benefit to using a sign in with Google, and there's significant overhead that I'm sure everyone here encountered in using Google APIs. They're not very user friendly, and they're kind of slow sometimes too. And unless you really know what those, like for example, when you use an OpenID Connect with Google, if you're consuming their ID token, unless you really know what everything in there is, it's kind of overwhelming and unnecessary. especially for something like this where all you need is, a username and a password. You don't need to get anything super complicated. So it was just faster for us. It was more, we had full control over it. We could do, extra information on our user accounts and have control over the IDs. So it just made sense.
Cool. Okay, guys, thank you for sharing. Looks good.
Thanks.
Okay, let's keep moving then. Minor Magic, you want to go ahead and start sharing?
Oh, how's it going, everyone?
Hey,
Oh, there
Lachlan.
you are, Nick. We have 2 more here. Oh, how's it going, everyone? All right, so we have a project. You might have noticed there's an elephant in the room. Our project's named like 4 different things. I think you guys are all muted too. Yeah, make sure you guys aren't muted. He's muted.
Yeah,
Look,
you
he's
can hear me,
talking, but
right?
he's muted. He doesn't even realize it. Look, you guys are all muted.
Yeah, I'm not talking right now.
There you go.
We're all muted.
Okay. All right. So you might realize elephant in the room, many names. All right. It's because it was it's something that doesn't exist before. So we had to come up with something along the way. Started with Minor Magic for obvious reasons. We switched to Ecom Minor and then other names along the way. So what is our project, right? So we thought, okay, what are some of the biggest plights? I'm not sharing my screen yet, but I feel like this requires a little bit of introduction. So we were thinking like, okay, what's like, we wanted to like solve some kind of problem, and we're thinking, what's the easiest problem to solve right now? And I was thinking like, okay, so like the silicone shortage, right? And like computation is on the rise, the future is getting more computation heavy. And with all this excess sitting in people's homes, there's got to be a way to monetize that and make money off of it, while also, letting the paying customer, somebody get something back, you know what I mean? So we came up with eCommune Miner here. It's essentially a Google, a signed-in system here that like, it's Google sign-in. It allows us to basically track individual users' progress with how much effort they contribute in mining power. It's essentially like Patreon, but for Ethereum mining. You mine for whatever company it is, and our foundation here will allow any company to pick that technology up and elaborate on it more, whether if they want to add individual like perks to people leveling up, or if they want to make it so they'll individually pay back those users and provide some sort of other service, or if popular artists.
I'll explain a bit here more. So like effectively, if you look at the top, we have a current balance, current USD. We're going to add a goals component. So you'll be able to see goals of whichever organization you're a part of. And then you'll be able to see a reward system and then like a minor tier system. So eventually, if you scroll onto the leaderboard, you'll be able to say, hover over DaBaby or Sickett and see information about them, their rewards, their contribution to individual goals that are part of this.
Yeah,
so
and like, we're thinking like, yeah.
You can start working towards actual goals, or you could use this for whatever you want. You can use this as like a Patreon model where people mine towards things, and instead of paying with money, you can pay with computational power, because there's so much value to computation, especially as we get further and further and get faster and faster computers. Who's going to want money when you can just trade more value through computation?
Yeah.
Actually, that you as a new way of paying for things.
Yeah, especially in the new crypto space. We just thought like this was a very obvious move for what could be going on. But that's essentially it. We also added like Discord functionality. We were thinking like because every single community, when they take this, they're going to really make it their own, because you don't know what anybody could charge for how they want to do their service. So we want to provide that kind of framework, that like Patreon-esque framework, where we can allow other people, other content creators, other like business facing like companies to come to us like Patreon, set up their accounts, and then like contribute computation. That's like down the road, but this is our essential MVP to track this data. That's what we really try to exemplify here, is like we can get this data and we can keep track of it while also splitting it apart, and like as we have the valid shares, we have the numbers, and it's just simple arithmetic after that. So like as long as we got that, we can basically take this project anywhere with like any type of thing. We can build on this very good.
Cool. Thank you guys. As some of them said, you really brought the energy here. So
thank you so much.
Of course. You gotta go hard.
Thank you guys.
Woke
You
the
guys
class.
like it? We have you guys questions. I think I gotta hit up with the boys here.
Yeah, questions, guys. My first question I want to ask is, how are you getting this data? Like, how do you know how much computing power I would have, let's say?
Let them know.
All right, so I guess I'll go into this. So we have an API. We got something called Flexible API. And what it does, it tracks all the Ethereum, I believe, Ethereum balance in 24 hours. So you see the current miners, you see 15 shares. So he mined 15 shares of Ethereum within the last 24 hours.
Yeah, it's like it's a mining pool that that monitors that data for us. And basically what we do is we make it exist longer than they don't want it to exist for, which usually they would say every 24 hours. We make that permanent by like having that leaderboard and continuously pulling and storing that data. So that's essentially what we're doing. We're using a middleman essentially to monitor and like take care of that stuff.
And the Flexible API has all that information on each worker. That's got it.
Okay, cool. And Andre asked, what made you choose Ethereum over Bitcoin?
Yeah, so so for that one, it was mostly because of the FlexPool API. It's a Ethereum mining pool. So it was kind of the reason why we chose Ethereum over Bitcoin is because of that and how easy it was to set up. So that was the main reason, I believe. I don't know if
That is one of the main reasons. They have some of the best APIs for like monitoring and tracking this data, but also just the longevity of Ethereum just made sense to use Ethereum with smart contracts. Like I personally believe that all other coins besides Ethereum based like smart contracts with all its like bit movements and like all of the potential is just not worth it. So like Ethereum's the go-to, my go-to at least.
The one with the actual most information, because you actually get more shares at a time versus Bitcoin. You're sitting there mining forever to get nothing.
We chose an infrastructure that works, that longevity, you know, like all these DeFi coins and all these things are all based off of and are branch coins of Ethereum. So it just makes sense. Like there's no way this, because like that was one of our main risk factors in this project was it, like, okay, what if Ethereum or crypto just stops being relevant? Then this just goes in the trash, you know? But, you know, that's why we chose the lowest risk coin, the one with the longest longevity for our research. So that was essentially it.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. I do have more questions, but I think I'll leave it for later. I can ask you guys separately, but we'll keep moving. Thank you guys for sharing that.
Thank you so much. We are really excited to present this. Thank you. This is a good one. Thank you.
I see that. Of course. Thanks.
Thanks, guys, for seeing this.
Peace, everyone.
Okay, let's keep moving then. Social fitness. This is group 8.
Yeah, give us a 7 days. I'm trying to start my C9.
Okay. How's it looking, Gavin? If it's taking too long, we could give you time and move to the next group.
Yes, please. You want to go next after the next group? Oh, it's on.
Okay.
Just give me 1 second. I'll start.
Okay, great. Let me know when you're ready. I'll start.
We are ready.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so our focus for creating this app was to deliver a real-time fitness app, which can be accessible from the browser. So this app will also be useful and will motivate our users in staying fit and healthy. So Gavin, if you can just press login. So this is our home page in which users will be greeted with a motivational quote upon login. Moving on to the About tab. In the About tab, users will find information about each of the features of the app which we have implemented in this app. Gavin, can you take over the profiles tab?
Yeah, on the profile, it's just gonna show if a user got a profile picture, it's gonna show here, and user can change all details like the age, gender, weight, and then you display when the user we log back in. So you can change it up like 25. When you're gonna log back in, you're gonna show up here. And the social part, user gonna be able to make posts, and other user gonna be able to comment. We're still working on this. Oh shit. Sorry. Yeah, this tab is we're still working on this. So sure. And food search.
Yeah, so the food search app will allow user to search for recipes, like healthy recipes. So if you type in an ingredient, it will give you a list of recipes along with the nutrition list of the ingredient that you search. So can you click on show nutrition list? Yeah, so this is what happens when you click on the recipe. It takes you to a new page with the recipe of that, what you have selected. Can you click on show nutrition list?
Go ahead and wrap it up soon. We're on time.
Yeah, so this is the nutrition list that it gives for the ingredient selected. You can move over to the workout search.
So the workout search, when you select a part of your body you wanna work on, and then you click on search. You're gonna display. We're still working on this. So basically should display you what kind of exercise you're supposed to do. And
Okay. All right, guys, that's time. Thank you for sharing that, though.
Okay.
All right. So anybody want to ask questions about this? I think from my side, I do like the UI. It's looking good, and you guys there's a lot of things going on here, but I want to know, how do you think, what makes this app unique from, I don't know, a workout app or MyFitnessPal, the different ones out there?
So the thing that makes this app unique compared to most other applications is that with most other applications, they're very much focused on either just fitness or just health. And so we want to combine both of those. And on top of that, we want to add the social aspect of being able to communicate with other people. And in the future, if we work on this app anymore, we want to add some friends list to this as well. So that way you can communicate with specific people rather than just globally to everyone.
Cool. Okay.
Reading in the chat, Andre asked how many APIs is our app using? We are currently only using 3. So the Google Authentication app, the application for our workouts, and the application for our recipe search.
And what do you use for workouts?
For workouts, we use a German REST API by WGER. That one is the one we're having a lot of issues with because the way they've set up their tables and their databases, the connection, the relationships is very annoying to actually work with. They're not directly connected. It's like they have different tables for everything and they're all connected to all over the place. It's been a nightmare to try to sort everything and actually get it working. The easiest way to do this is to pull everything into our own databases, but that is a lot of data.
Right. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, awesome. I'm excited to see how that ends up looking. Looks like Catherine is excited to see if you use her.
Yes, actually, so that question of does it recommend certain diets or certain exercises, the workout API does have the feature, but that one does require a premium pay system to actually get that working. And right now we're using the default API just because we were more focused on getting everything working, getting the information to display like, oh, I want to work on this body part, so I need that information. So, but in the future, if we do implement this app further, we'll set up that, and then we'll actually have like actual workout schedules and all that kind of stuff set up.
Okay, great. Thanks, guys. And like for all groups in general, I hope you know, given this like limited timeline, you of course aren't going to be able to do everything you set out to do, like the vision that you've had. But these are just 2 iterations, and there can be so many more, and there need to be in order to really get it to a better place. Okay, thanks, guys. This looks good. Let's move to what to watch then. Group 9. Hey, Krupesh.
Hello. Can you guys hear me?
We can.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Ian. Hey, Catherine. Let me know when you guys are ready, and I'll start.
Hello. Okay. Okay, we're ready.
Okay. Sorry.
Catherine, you ready?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay, guys. Have you guys ever had trouble deciding what to watch with your friends, like tonight or tomorrow or like next weekend? Well, I sure did. So me and my group members decided to build an app where you and your friends can basically go on this app, decide which genres you want to pick, and then this app will basically shoot out based on the most popular genres. This app will basically spit out what movie you guys will be watching tonight. So let's start off. Catherine will log herself in through a Google API. And then right now you can either host it or you can join it, but Catherine will right now host it for all of us to join.
The screen you see here is only on the host side. So the host will decide, oh, let's watch either a movie, TV show, or do you want a recommendation of both? I'm going to choose movie. So the number of guests is the amount of people you're going to want to watch this with. So say I'm going to watch with Krupesh, Ian, and Jessica. So I'll say 3 guests. We'll choose a time. Let's watch it at 11:10 p.m. I want this on a Saturday, so we'll do May 1st. Place, we're going to watch it at Nauman's Place. The host can choose a genre and filter it out, or they can let the group choose for us. So I'm going to give them options, and then I will generate a passcode in which I will tell Krupesh, Ian, and Jessica to type in 4492. So now they can join. I will create the room. And there's a chat feature where I can say, hey, I want to watch a comedy movie. And everyone else who has joined the room can see that. You can type in whatever you want, really. And then you can choose. So I want comedy. Select. And this is the results page. So the winning genre here is comedy. Recommendation here is Ride Along 2. You can watch the trailer, and the time, date, and place is below. There is a confirmation button on the bottom, and now everyone will see the alert that you guys will be watching Ride Along 2 on this day at this time. Ian and Jessica will answer any questions. Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Bold of you to assume I'm hosting, but anyway, this looks really good. I think this is like a great idea, and I've always had to deal with this issue of trying to figure out a movie, and this presentation was really smooth. You kind of walked me through the user flow really well and from start to finish. So good job there. Question I want to ask, something I noticed, it's cool that you have this sort of passcode thing to do rooms. How did you implement this sort of passcode room thing?
Okay, so for the passcode, I just randomly generated the basically 4 numbers. So it's either from 1000 to 9999. I tried looking up like other APIs, but I had trouble like implementing them. So I implemented my own. Probably gonna change it like sooner or later though for a better passcode API.
Yeah, and we also have the option to just like, if you don't want to generate a passcode, you can just type in whatever passcode you want and then send that to your friends.
Okay, cool. Any questions from the class? Second one, and I'll ask. Okay, Joseph has one. What happens with different rooms with the same passcode?
Well, we haven't had that problem. So if different rooms have the same passcode, I think what we can do is tie the passcode to the host and save it to the database, just so we can have like the two same passcode for two different people.
Additionally, the host can set how many people can join each room. So if there's 2 rooms with the same passcode, but like a different number of total guests allowed, then we can use that to differentiate between the different rooms.
Sure, that makes sense. There's also, I think there would be other ways to kind of come up with a unique hash of some sort if you wanted to go down that route, but this looks great. Thank you guys. Rainfist asked one more question, but maybe you can answer in the chat because I just want to give the last 2 groups enough time. Or no, there's one group left, but yeah, maybe you can answer in the chat anyway. Okay, great job. What to watch.
Thanks.
Stalker Eyes. Let's wrap it up now with the final group. Hey, Oscar, Jose, Yasmin, and Jay. All right.
Alrighty, so I'll get us started.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so our group name is called Stalker Eyes and our app is called Stalker Eyes. So with our Stalker Tracker app, you'll be able to keep track of your stocks in anytime, anywhere. With the stock price notifications, you have a favorite list, you have the latest headlines from a bunch of news articles and a bunch of news sources, including international ones. And you'll also be able to keep up with the fast moving world of stock trading, as you can see right here. So Yezin can take it from here and he'll explain our workflow.
So whether you're at home or on the go, you can always log into the app from your smartphone, tablet, or home computer. Just like that. You can see your profile, see that you're logged in. And then sometimes the stocks take a couple seconds to load. There we go. So with a centralized homepage, you'll be able to see how your portfolio is performing at a glance. You can always click on one of the stocks so you can see the latest news articles about it. If you see anything that catches your eye, you can open it up in a new tab. So the Zoom interface is blocking it for me. Okay. So you can be sure to read up on all the news articles for your stocks, and then you can make an informed decision on your portfolio. So with our Stalker Eyes app, you can never miss a beat on your portfolio again.
Okay, thank you guys. So any questions from the class? Otherwise, I'll start off. I think I like the layout of the news kind of next to the stock at the same time, and the charts look good. So how are you able to implement these sort of charts? What do you have to use?
So for the graphs, we had to use Plotly. This is a library provided by React.
Cool. Yeah, I know Plotly pretty well because I've had to use that on my team at Facebook too. Looks like Rupesh is asking what APIs did you use just in general?
You go ahead, Oscar.
So we use the Google API for the logging and Alpha Vantage for the graph and information in the stock market. Also for the new, we use the New York Times API.
Okay, and what would you say is like one of the biggest technical challenges you had to deal with here?
I can answer that. So honestly, one of the biggest technical issues was, at first it was actually rendering the chart because we kept running out of heap space, especially when we were rendering 3 different charts. So we actually had to specifically import Plotly Finance library, not just the whole Plotly, in order to save some heap space. And then we had to, and that actually resolved a lot of the heap space issue. So from there, it was just rendering at the correct time because Plotly needs the DOM elements to be rendered beforehand. So once they're rendered, then you can actually render the graph on that element. So it was really just, making sure that everything is being rendered at the correct time, especially with the sockets and connecting to the server, communicating with the server.
Got it.
And also the other challenge that we have was with the Heroku database. We had to move to Amazon database because the connections. So right now we're using it.
Yeah, I remember you were saying that earlier too.
Yeah, and in the future we are going to implement favorite list where the user can save the stock in favorite list with the relational database and all of that. We have already implemented in the database, so we only need to add it to the front end. And also we are going to implement email notification for news on all of that in the application.
Cool. Sounds good, guys. Thank you. All right. Any other questions from the class or? Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So yeah, good job, everybody. I think it's really cool just to see like all this work you've put in now over the past like whole semester, because you know it's not just these 4 weeks. All this knowledge was building up from all the past assignments and projects like that, and kind of culminating into today where you get to see like everybody coming up with these pretty complicated apps and having made them all on their own from scratch. So that's really cool. Proud of everybody here for what I'm seeing. And I'm excited to see that final polished version next week when you turn in Sprint 2. Okay, awesome. So I did want to vote on the kind of favorite app, but I think I'm going to move it actually to online, to Canvas basically as part of the last homework, just so that I have some time to, in these last 2 minutes, to give my closing thoughts. Okay. So first thing, just kind of, I will be here to support you all after this class, however I can. So next week, next month, next year, you guys can always talk to me. You guys can always kind of reach out to me about anything. So if you want to talk about coding assignments that you're dealing with, or like applying to jobs, or once you're on the job, kind of dealing with problems on the job itself, I hope that I'll always be here to kind of help you out there. And part of the last homework that I'm going to add is just, I'm going to create a Discord server for all of us who took 490 to join, so that we can stay in touch after this and talk about tech stuff. And the second thing, I have learned a lot from you all. I've been inspired by your hard work, your care for others, your dedication through this all. Seeing you guys help each other on Slack while you're all dying in project 2 was definitely good, at least for me to see. So thank you all for just engaging through this whole semester, coming to class, chatting, and staying kind of engaged with everything I've been doing. So I appreciate that. And I know a lot of you, the main thing on your mind is still going to be kind of getting a job and like internships or full-time jobs after this. It's not going to be easy, but my main advice going forward is just keep applying everywhere, everywhere. So even places you don't necessarily think you'd like or enjoy, just keep applying. And I've had to apply to like 100 places in order to get like 2 offers. So you're definitely gonna have to do that. Keep practicing on interviews, like on LeetCode or in real interviews, and just keep learning from those failures. And you will get there at some point. Can't say when, but you will if you keep trying. And if you don't get a job, you know, this summer or like for next year, just remember it's not over. You know, you can always work on other things. You can work on your personal projects, on open source. The cool thing about CS and like software engineering is there's so much you can do without having like a proper job, or, you know, not having the right knowledge, because you can find it all online. And yeah, everybody here has what it takes to be a great software engineer. So I hope you remember that. I hope you know that you've proven yourself and what you can do from this class and all of the projects that you did so far. And that just today kind of shows as a testament just how much you really can do. And with more time, I know you can do even more. All right, so thank you all. The final thing is submit Sprint 2 by May 3rd, midnight. I will still have office hours. I'll still be on Slack and email if you want to ask anything. The last homework is simply going to be on Canvas, to join our alum Discord server, to remember my personal email if you ever want to talk to me or like email me later on, and to add me on LinkedIn just for, you know, checking that. I don't really check my LinkedIn, but it seems like a good thing to do. So thank you all again. That is it for class. I'll stay back for 10 minutes if anybody had more questions, but otherwise it's been a really great semester. It's been a great time with you guys, and have a good year, life, everything. This is
Thanks,
Gavin.
Naman.
Thanks, Michael. I'm glad to hear so many of you like this semester.
Thanks, Naman. It's been a great semester. You're a very helpful professor too.
Thanks, Kevin.
I had a great time except for Heroku. Like everything else is great. Like literally just Heroku is my problem.
For sure, for sure. I think nobody here likes Heroku. All right, thanks guys. Thanks Ivana, Joseph, Hussein, Gavin, Jacob, Krupesh. So glad to hear. Awesome, I'm glad to hear that, Xavier. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Chirag, Oscar, everybody here on the chat.
Thanks, Naman. This class has probably been the most fun that I've had this semester. Honestly, was looking forward to it, even though this is an early morning class, not an early morning person.
For sure.
And, yeah. Also, to add on to what Nicholas said earlier about Heroku, I also hate C9 currently just because every time I log in, it somehow doesn't want to work at times, and I'm like, because that's been an issue for Gavin as well. Because with him, C9 takes just forever to load up, and it's been painful. But outside of that,
sure,
I love the content.
Good.
Getting better at React. Still not a huge fan, but it's getting there.
For sure.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, I'll talk to you later.
Okay. Yeah, we will. Cool. Yeah. Thanks, Abhishek. I know Heroku for everybody.
Thank you, Professor.
Yep. Thanks, Rupesh.
We'll be in touch. Thank you very much.
Okay, good. I hope to hear from you more.
Of course. Thank you.
Oscar, glad to hear that. We really shared that pain with Heroku. And Cloud9.